fellow humans, and welcome back to another daily dice where we ask the dice for a message and find out what that is. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of the journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently around here, so with that in mind, if the messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that, today I did get a channeled message that your success silenced their gossip. So we're going to find out more about what Source would like to tell you in regards to this. I'm going to be using the Gods, Goddesses, and Guardians deck. So Source, what Gods, Goddess, and Guardians card will help us better understand this message? Thank you. Right off the bat coming in. On the bottom we have Artemis, Brave Spirit. Yeah. So you took on a challenge and you faced it head on, and they were telling everyone that you were going to give up, that you weren't going to be able to do this, that you were going to initially fail, and that they were going to be the ones that were going to be there to catch you when you fell, and that they're the ones that needed to be praised, and they're the ones that needed to be looked at, and that's what they were telling everyone. But now they can't tell people that, because people are starting to see that whatever it was that they were saying was it was just a lie. It was a lie, because you're seeing success, and you can't hide success. Like, you can be silent about it, but eventually success is going to show itself, right? And so that's what I feel like is happening. Let's get some dice on it. So Source, what more would you like to say about this? My fellow human success silenced their gossip. What more would you like to share with my fellow humans today, Source? My fellow human success silenced their gossip. What would you like to say? Yeah, the first house, Pisces energy, and the moon. Interesting. I feel like you may have in the past been someone who's very easily influenced. Just a second here. Okay. My nose was itching like crazy. Yeah, you might have been very easily influenced, right? Like, even back to your childhood, like, people could have said things and, like, influenced you to do what they wanted you to do, or convinced you that you weren't good, or that you weren't good enough to have what it is that you desired in your life. Whatever it was, I do feel like there's parts in your journey where you were very much influenced by the way that people showed up in your journey, and that you maybe at one point didn't know who you were, but through this process of chasing your dream, if you will, or going towards what it is that you desire, you're learning who you are more and more, and learning how to express that more and more. And so whatever guilt, shame, and blame was attached to you prior, when people would say, you know, nasty things to you, or impress upon you that, oh, you can't do that, or like you weren't good enough or brave enough to do that, or whatever the situation is, instead of letting that be what kept you from moving forward, you instead turned inward and said, okay, where am I lacking within myself, and how can I fill up my own cup? And doing that has given you the strength to be open and compassionate with others, while still standing grounded and rooted in your power. And that's something that this person never expected, or that these people never expected. They always saw you as someone who was weak and easily manipulated, but now you're not easily manipulated, and that drives them nuts. And so it silenced them, because there are people who are now coming back and saying, well, I thought that you said that they were not going to succeed. I thought that you said that they were just going to give it up like they've given everything else up. I thought that you said this and this. And so now they're eating their words, and they're having to lie to people once again to cover themselves. And so I feel that there's this energy that's shifting around, where people are now beginning to see the fact that this person is untrustworthy, or these people are untrustworthy, and that they were just trying to make a name for themselves by using and tarnishing your name. So let's see what else comes through here for you. Yeah, there's definitely a shift here. Ooh, okay, yeah. Death to the manipulator is what I just heard. Interesting. Source, so my fellow human success silenced their gossip. What more would you like to say today? Yeah. What else would you like to say today, Source? Whoa, okay. All right. So this is interesting because I feel like this wants to verify this Seven of Cups in the reverse, and we've got the Four of Swords here and the Fool in the reverse here, and on the bottom we've got the Five of Coins, which talks about change. There's a big shift here from hopelessness, from lack of getting love, to seeing things clearly and having victory. Okay, so very, very clear energy here. There's a big shift, right? A big shift, which of course the Five of Coins clarifies for us. But we see here with the Fool in the reverse and the Seven of Cups in the reverse is that at some point these individuals knew when you didn't have emotional boundaries, especially if you're an empath. If you feel like you're an empath or that's something that you identify with, which is fine, right? Like that's something that is very big for you, especially with Pisces and the moon energy coming out. It wouldn't surprise if you had water highly aspect in your chart. And even if you don't, that's fine. What I'm saying is that you could be an empath here, and so feeling everybody else's emotions and didn't know where you stopped. And so where you stopped and where another began, that was foreign energy for you, foreign territory, and just not sure of what to do with that. And people use that to their advantage with the Fool in reverse here. They use that to trick you. They use that to treat you like a fool. People really thought you were stupid. And please know, I'm not saying this to make you mad. I'm not saying this to harm you or anything like that. That's not what this is, right? It is coming through though. That, and remember, we're not saying this, we're telling you this to remind you that trusting your intuition is the most important thing. Okay, you're not. You're incredibly intelligent. You're incredibly savvy and smart. That's what Source is saying here. But these are individuals who knew that if they pressured you enough, that they could get you to believe them or do whatever it is that they wanted, and they benefited from that. So they really thought because they could pressure you emotionally, right, guilt trip you into doing things that they wanted, they thought that you were stupid. Not the fact that I lack emotional boundaries. Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is to stand up for myself. They took it as, oh, they're just completely, you know, unintelligent, which is so not true. I feel like you actually knew that this was happening to you, or you realized that they didn't care about you as deeply as they were saying they did, but you didn't know how to stop it at some point. And so now you're standing in your power. You took the leap and you're now able to say, look, I'm the hunter. I am no longer the hunted, and you're not going to hunt me anymore. And so you've tapped into that bravery within, and that scares the living bejesus out of them. And so before, they were able to use other people, right? I do feel like this has been a stair-step type of healing. Wow, okay, so this one came out. Mercury flipped over here, so let's see. And on the bottom, we have 7th house, make a commitment. Okay, so here's the thing. This feels like very stair-step to me. And what I mean by that is, like, before was they could easily manipulate you by using guilt trip on you. Then they used other people to guilt trip you, right? So the stair-step is when it didn't work on you directly anymore, then they used other people and that worked on you. But now it doesn't matter who they use. There is no guilt tripping you anymore because you face the guilt within yourself. Whatever the guilt, the blame, the shame that you were feeling internally, you face that within yourself, and there's no longer carrying that, like, energy of you can make me feel a certain way. You just don't anymore, right? We have Mercury, dive into the details. Yeah, so this is what you did. You dived into the details within yourself, and that gave you power. That gave you stability that they didn't know was possible. What else would you like to say today, Source? And I feel like Source is just reminding you that you are, wow, are you going to come out? Jeez. You want to come out, but you didn't want to come out because it wanted to pull out that other card. Yeah, a lot of pain. Wow. And look at that sadness underneath that, disruption. Wow. Okay. This is the thing. These people caused a lot of problems in your life. What am I... Oh, okay. I was confused for a second. You made a space. You made a space in your life. Sorry. There's just something that happened that just confused me, but it's okay. So these people, they caused a lot of pain, a lot of sadness. They disrupted a lot of things that you did. I feel like you had a lot of dreams as a child or in your teens or in your early 20s or whatever it is when you knew all these people or when they were a part of your life. You had a lot of dreams. And I feel like they have you ever been falsely encouraged? You when someone's like, yeah, you should do it, but then the minute you take actions towards it, they're like, oh no, you'll never succeed in that, right? Then why the heck did you tell me I could do it? Like, it's so crazy. I know, but they cause a lot of hurt in your life. Depression, pain, sadness. They upended a lot of things. And so it's like honoring the fact that that happened and realizing that I don't have to carry this anymore. And now the fact that you're not carrying it anymore, they realize that they can't convince anybody about who you are, because whenever you come around, whatever they say, and then the next time they meet those people, they're like, oh wow, like they weren't anything like what you said they were. And that's making them get put on the spot, and they don't like that. Yeah, I feel like this is funny. I feel like this is funny. With humor coming out, this is kind of like the joke from the universe. It's not that the universe plays jokes on us, but it's like, hey, that's what you wanted. You wanted everybody to listen to your sob story about, you, the watcher. But now that the truth is really coming out, you're all upset because the truth is coming out, because they're not at all who you said that they were. And so it's just kind of like, well, the joke's on you. The joke's on you. Well, get out. You ever just want to tell people, get over yourself? Like, you're not that important. It's interesting that that's coming through. It's like when people think, oh, well, here we go. The example they show me. Someone speaks another language. Like, if you're bilingual or multilingual or polyglot, you're going to totally understand this. And if you're not, you're probably going to understand this anyways, because I'm sure we've all felt this. But have you ever met somebody and they're talking in a different language, and they immediately think that, oh my gosh, they're talking about me. Like, oh, they're making fun of me. I don't know, but I know they're saying bad stuff about me, and they're just talking in another language because they're just talking about me and they don't want me to hear it. This is what this person is constantly thinking about. You speak another language. You speak the language of spirituality. And for them, they're like, oh my gosh, they're talking about me. Oh my gosh, I don't understand what they're saying, but they're saying bad things about me. And it's like, you ever just want to tell somebody, like, my world does not revolve around you. My world, fortunately, revolves around me. And I guess unfortunate for you, because you're not as popular as you really thought you were, right? No beef, just the truth. That's it, It's like, you could be mad about it, but that's that same energy. Like, when everybody thinks, oh, because you're talking in another language, they think that you're immediately talking about them. But I'm sorry, people from all cultures have all kinds of things to talk about besides the person in the room that doesn't speak the language, or the people in the room that don't speak the language. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I know it does happen. I know there are situations where it has happened, but most of the time, it's not. Like, most of the time, people are talking about life and laundry and chores and kids, and, they're not talking about you, a stranger they don't know who doesn't speak their language. Like, that's, Retrograde, reflect, refine, and redo. Yeah, this is you. This is what you've done, right? Dive into the details. So this is what scared them. You rewound the clock. You went back in time. Back in time. What is that from the Back to the Future? Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So you went back in time, and now you've gained power, and you're owning your power and standing in it. And you've chosen to do what you're passionate about. And now you're finding this place of peace. I love this for you. I love this for you. You're untouchable. You're untouchable, and they can't handle it. Self-esteem. Why? Because you feel good about yourself. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh. Have I possessed the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others? And they can't stand it, because you standing in your self-esteem means that they can't try to break you anymore. So they got to spend time in their own miserable life by themselves. Well, that's you. You do that. You do you, boo. Ah, look at that. Safe space. This is the peace card right here. Namatona with safe space. This is what you've done. You've created a safe space for yourself. No matter what. This person could keep gossiping even if they want to. They can find all the new people in the world to gossip to, but it doesn't matter, because your success speaks for itself. You being you speaks for itself. There is no reason to argue or defend or even stand up for yourself against what this person is saying, because none of it even appears truthful to anybody at this point in time. Wow, that was insane. I love this. I'm so proud of you. I really am so proud of you because this takes a lot of courage and strength to get to this point on our journeys, right? So this is what I see here for you. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little dove emoji down below and say, I am my safe space. I am where peace resides. I am grounded in self-esteem and I shine as such. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. With that, I do want to take a quick second and thank your guides, your spirit guides, your spirit messengers, angels, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.